Welcome to Unethical Podcast.
At just 12, these two girls nearly took another classmate's life. Last May, they boarded
A fellow passenger on a Greyhound bus may soon walk the streets of Winnipeg unsupervised, and the decision is causing concern. Vincent is schizophrenic and was found not criminally responsible.
Yeah,
That's all you need
Which
to know.
makes me wonder what the hell we're getting into.
It's Richard. You already were wondering what the hell.
Yeah, I purposely didn't tell you this because I would like to traumatize you guys as much as I possibly can.
I
with fucked
know.
up stories.
Where did the babies come from, Richard?
Where did the babies come from?
It was the basement, and it was the dad fucking his daughter. Okay,
Thank you.
this story is actually fucking nuts. Molly told me, my daughter, my 11-year-old daughter, who has access to TikTok, is my assumption where I got this. She told me I should watch this documentary called Alison. I'm waiting for a specific sentence this entire episode from you guys. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but once it happens, I'll tell you a little bit more. But
Are we so
I watched-
predictable to you, Richard?
I sat here thinking, like, should I just tell, like, should I give it away right off the bat, or should I see if they figure it out halfway through? And I decided mysteries is what my business is. Let's play the mystery game.
I'm in the mystery business.
I watched this fucking documentary with Molly and Sarah, and I was like, okay, wait, this isn't real. And then I had to do a shit ton of research, and I was like, you know what? We're doing this. We're doing it on Unethical. So this is the story of Alison Botha. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this story before. It's actually, I don't know, there's a lot more I've never heard of it before myself, and there was a lot more information on the internet than a typical like thing that I find that's kind of obscure. So I was like, this must be pretty famous. So I was kind of worried you guys would know. So anyways, cool. So she is from South Africa. So we're going to South Africa today.
That's new for us, I think.
Yeah, I don't
like-
think we've been to
I'm
South
going
Africa.
to park my car in the car park. All right, sorry.
Are we making fun of
What's-
South Africans? Let me get the ticker.
The white shark. The white shark comes and gets the DVD. Anyway, keep going.
Is
You
that what is that?
Australians
What are
and
you
South-
doing?
But do they have like a rivalry that the rest of us don't know about?
No, it's like so I park my car in the car park. It's like it's one of the funniest things you can get a South African to say because of the way they say it. Anyway.
So yeah, South African, born September 22nd, 1967 in Port Elizabeth. Her parents were divorced. And when she was 10, they got divorced, and she basically spent her entire youth with her mother and brother. Not to say her dad wasn't around. He was around. She lived only primarily with her mom. I think her dad moved away, but they had a good relationship. They still have a good relationship.
Okay,
She
that's
was-
good. She doesn't die. I like that.
Yeah.
Although I say that every time, and it's somehow worse.
Somehow
Yeah.
she's come back from the grave and you're still wrong.
Yeah, no, she's do they stop becoming your parent when you die? Okay.
No, but you stop having a relationship with them when you die.
Yeah, you don't really have a good
Does the other
relationship with a
person-
corpse.
Well,
Hey, Anatoly Moskvin had a great relationship.
Yeah, you're right with a couple of them.
that's true. But also, if like you go, does the other person have to be involved in to have a relationship? Yes, because that's what stalking is. Keep
Yeah, I
going.
was going to say it's called stalking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So growing up, she was a decent student. She's pretty good of a student. I couldn't really figure out if she was like straight A's or whatever, but she got the position of head girl at her collegiate high school for girls.
Oh, so
head
did
girl-
I. But
Very-
for girls, never.
Very popular.
Head girl is not hot twa girl. Okay. That is like, I don't know. It's like a school president or some shit. I don't really understand it. We don't have it here.
No, we
Yeah.
have
Okay.
head girls over here. So head girls basically, they're like, so our head girl, her name was Juliet. She basically was like the head of the prefects. So you still get prefects, like there's 4 or 5 prefects that
You're
you
saying
have.
words I don't understand. What's a prefix?
Prefects.
No, prefect. P-R-E.
Still not a word I understand.
C-T-S. A prefect is, I actually have no idea where it comes from, but a prefect is someone at school that is part of the student body, that is part of the student council. And
Okay.
then the head girl is the one who then is in charge of making sure that the student council comes together. and
Like the
they
president
sit-
of the student council is basically what I like. That's what I kind of assumed it was, but I didn't really think it was that because in Hogwarts, like in Harry Potter, they have a head boy and a head girl, don't they? Like they have two of them.
Yeah.
Since it's only a
Also-
girls' school, there's only a head girl. But if there was guys there, there'd probably be a head boy and a head girl. Like if it was a
Yeah.
co-ed. Anyways, cool. She got that, and that's a prestigious kind of thing to
So
get, I
she's
guess.
either in the council or she's like a dorm advisor. She's one of those two things, but we're not
From
sure
what I
which.
understand, and from what I gather from reading up on this, is like you kind of represent the students in like matters outside the school. Like you're the person who goes and talks if you're on like a parade or some shit, or like I don't know if they need some sort of representative to go like cut a ribbon for something. I don't fucking know. But you're
Union
kind of that person.
meetings.
Yeah. Everyone says they expected like big things from her to be a doctor, lawyer, kind of stuff like that. She didn't really know what she wanted to do when she got out of school. She kind of went to college for what they're calling secretarial. Can we say secretary anymore? Am I not allowed to say that? I feel like that's a bad word now.
Mhm.
It's just like
The
you're
term
just changing the word.
secretary is deemed, it's not deemed offensive, but it's falling out of fashion because it pigeonholes them in terms of career and salary mobility.
Okay. I guess if you're a secretary, there's no like moving up the
They can
corporate ladder
treat
to
you
become
like an
a.
assistant, I guess is the problem. Is if you're a secretary and they say fetch my coffee, it's not below you if you're a secretary, but if you're an administrative assistant, that's below your pay grade somehow.
Mhm.
And
I
normally,
guess
if you had someone getting coffee, you'd have to get a PA. Now,
Yes, exactly. There are actual personal assistant roles that now
Mm.
are separate.
which pay so much money. Oh
They
my
can.
god!
Yeah.
When I was
Imagine-
an admin
Oh, yeah,
assistant, if
good.
my boss told me to go get her coffee, I'd tell her to go fuck herself. I would not have done that. I would not
Just-
have been like, and the kitchen's over there, you know how to make your coffee. Like, I'm
Oh my
not
god. I
doing
want
that.
everyone I want everyone in on this, but we didn't record this. Sassy Dingus is out in full force today,
Sassy
guys.
dingus.
And she's
Yeah.
gonna be fucking just sassy. I fucking love it. I don't know what it is. Stay pregnant. You know, don't
Yeah.
even stop. Just fucking sass it up.
Oh.
I'm enjoying this so much.
So,
love
Dingus's
it.
boss walks in. Dingus's boss walks in. Oh, I know that you're about to go to lunch, and I've got a meeting coming up. Would you mind just getting me a coffee? And Dingus just goes, "Boosh! You know where the kitchen is."
I wasn't that big of an asshole. There were times like I was leaving and one of my bosses was in a meeting and it'd be like, hey, do you need me to like bring you lunch? And he would give me money and he'd pay for my lunch too. So I was like, all right, this is
That's a good deal though.
acceptable.
Yeah. Anyways, Allison, stayed in secretarial for a year. She didn't like it very much, so she decides to drop
Administrative
out.
assistant real.
Yeah, sorry. Get with the times, Richard. Get with the times. It's my fault.
2024,
80s,
Richard.
you know?
Yeah, she didn't like administrative real assistant deal, and she drops out after about a year. She decides she's going to go travel. She leaves South Africa for about 4 years, traveling overseas, which is a long time to go traveling. Like, I don't know what her
4
parents
years?
did. I don't know what her parents like, how she could afford that, but man, she went out and she did her thing. She had fun.
You know exactly. Oh wait, is she white?
She is.
You know exactly what they did being white people in South Africa. Don't dance around the subject.
I fully disagree. You can absolutely travel as a poor person.
Oh, okay.
There are
that's
all
what-
kinds of ways to
Oh,
work jobs. in
Apartheid was a thing
Yep.
still in the 80s, though. She's not wrong.
100%. Apart
And I'm not,
I know that.
I don't want to, okay, put it this way. I'm not saying Alison Botha's family is slave trade. I'm not doing that today. Alison Botha doesn't deserve
I
that.
am.
Okay,
Oh,
perfect.
never mind. I reserve my judgment.
Well, wait, now I'm confused. Does she come from a wealthy background? I thought she
I
just lived
don't-
with like a single mom.
Yeah, she did. I don't think she did. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how she afforded to go traveling for 4 years and then turn and she's
stayed
wealthy.
in hostels and worked odd jobs like a ton of
Yeah.
kids do.
Yeah, it's
It
true.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what her family did because she was white in South Africa in the 80s. She would have been a squillionaire just by being existing. Like, and all the
I don't
stuff
know.
she was
I don't know anything about that.
I don't know enough about it either to agree with you or disagree. What I will say is I trust your judgment. And
Oh,
I'm
don't.
going to
Don't.
whenever Bo says anything about South Africa, I'm taking it as fact. So that's fact.
I parked my car in the car park. Yeah, that's fact.
I parked my car in the car park.
So
It
yeah,
is
traveling. She travels for 4 years. Comes back to her hometown of Port Elizabeth, just to kind of settle down, get a job and stuff like that. She gets a job in insurance, starts to build a little bit of a life for herself. She makes a bunch of friends, excels at her job, very good at her job. Everyone likes her. and stays like this until she's about 27. So 3 or 4 years pass. On the 17th of December, 1994, she spent a nice day at the beach with a couple of her friends. After this beautiful day at the beach, Allison and her friends went back to her house for pizza, and they go play some board games. In fact, they're playing Balderdash, which I found was fun. I haven't played that in like so long. I'm gonna get a. I don't think we have Balderdash here, and I'm gonna get that. Yes,
Is Balderdash the one where you make up definitions for words?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
She's screaming, but nobody can hear her because
Yeah,
she's screaming too loud.
She loves Balderdash so much she put herself on mute.
I do. I love Boulder Dash so much. It's one of my favorite games because I always used to like, they give it you a word. And I was like, this word is actually one of the Guatemalan fruit bats found native to
Guatemala.
To yeah, native to Guatemalan fruit bats that have managed to migrate their way through to Chile. And I just make up shit, and it was so much fun. Oh, I love Boulder Dash. It's a great game.
I haven't played it in probably 10, 15 years. I saw that. I was like, Balderdash. I forgot about that game. It's so good. So they're playing Balderdash, having a great time. Everyone's laughing, having a good time. Party starts to die down. One of the couples leaves by themselves. And then one of her last friends that was there by herself, she said, oh, you know what? I can give you a ride home if you'd like. So she gets down in her car. She says, hey, do you mind if I bring a load of laundry? I'll do a load of laundry at your house. Give you a ride. She says, sure. So she comes. She goes
I know
there.
what this is now.
You do know what it is? Yeah.
And I don't
I
like
knew one
it.
of us. I knew one of you guys would know what it was. I'm sorry, I have to do this.
The good news is she doesn't die.
Yeah, there you go. This is the whole thing. This is what I was not going to try and give it away. But I gave it away early by accident. Yeah, this girl lives through this. I just want everyone to know she's alive. After this, she doesn't die. Okay. So she gets back around 1:15 in the morning on December 18th, I guess the next day has passed. To her amazement, she pulls up and her parking spot's still open. She lives like in a very busy area. Even at 1 a.m, she's like, it's nuts to me that my parking spot was there. And that's what she's thinking. And she gets in the parking spot, she stops, she goes to grab her laundry. And as she turns to get out of her car, someone sneaks up behind her and puts a knife to her throat. The guy with the knife to her throat says, move over or I'm going to kill you. She slides over into the passenger seat. He jumps into the empty driver's seat and starts to drive, all while still holding Allison at knife point. She says she's terrified and she like wants to jump out of the car, but she doesn't really know if she should jump out of the car because she doesn't know what's going to happen. Like, that guy could fucking go crazy right now. Like, if I stay here, he's calm right now. I'm not going to do anything crazy. So as she's sitting there thinking, like, should I jump out? Should I stay? He speaks up and he says that, like, I only need your car for like an hour. Don't worry. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to do anything. I just need to drive. I'm looking for something. And then he starts to chat with Allison. He tells her his name's Clinton. And she says, what's your name, good looking girl? She says her name's Susan. They both lie. Then he asks her if she has a boyfriend. She says, yes, I have a boyfriend. And if I don't get home soon, he's going to start to worry. So you should just let me go. Don't worry. You take my car if you need to. He says, yeah, sure. I'll let you out soon. Just give me a second here. I'm looking for a guy who stole my TV and I need company while I'm looking for this guy. So I'm just driving around looking for a guy with a TV. I'm not going to do anything bad. Just give me a couple more minutes here. Clinton sees a guy standing at the side of the road and pulls over. The guy's sitting there waiting for him. The guy opens up the door, gets in the back seat. Clinton introduces...
He was picking up someone. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Clinton introduces Susan to his friend Tunes. It's a fucking weird way. It's a African Theuns. I'm gonna say Tunes. I think it's Terns. That's what it is. Terns. Anyways, when Terns get in the car, this when Allison gets really scared. She starts to be fucking terrified. Terns wasn't friendly like Clinton was. She describes him sitting in the back seat, just cold, dead look in his eye, looking like she just describes him as pure evil. This guy here makes her think like, I'm not going home tonight. And they just keep driving around town. And they start going a little bit further out of town, kind of like into the countryside a bit, like just out of town. But now when they're driving, when Toons is in the car, it's silent. And just Toons is in the back seat smoking a cigarette. He drove her to a clearing about 15 minutes away near a nature reserve. And it wasn't like super like clean there. It was like ash on the ground from old barbecue fires, broken bottles, discarded beer cans, other various things of litter all over the place. And as they're parked there, they stop there. Clinton turns off the engine. Toons gets out, goes smoke another cigarette by himself. With only Clinton left in the car, Alison asks, "So what now?" Clinton tells her that the two men are going to have sex with her. And they ask her straight up, "Are you going to fight?" She says no. She's terrified. And Clinton already put a knife to her. So then Clinton starts to force her into oral. Toons is back in the back seat now watching. Keeps saying stuff like, "If you bite me, I'll kill you." And then when he's kind of done with her with that, he like eats her out, which I find fucking very weird. I've never heard of a pussy eating rape before. Like,
It'd be the way I went, but anyway.
I figure that's how you would rape someone, actually.
Oh my god.
And then when he's eating her pussy, the whole time he's like complimenting her, like, "Does your boyfriend lick you like that? Do you like that?" Then when he's
Those
kind
don't
of done,
sound like compliments.
that to him it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, I was.
To him, it is. He when she gets like when he's kind of done with her, he goes like, "You have the nicest tasting fanny."
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
It's very nice. I don't
mean,
think
it's
that's-
laundry day, obviously. So
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know,
true.
you wouldn't expect she's probably in her laundry clothes.
That's
Or
true.
and she's week 3 of a cycle, best tasting. So like,
She's like sweaty from playing Balderdash. It's a whole mixture of things going on around here.
what? I mean, how is she playing Balderdash? Why is she playing Balderdash with
She
her
played it
fanny?
just about an hour before.
With her fanny?
Well,
Well,
no,
she's
but when you
sweating.
win at Balderdash, you get like that good, that good flow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you know what? I'm sure her fanny was actually there with her. So yeah, I
Yes.
Present and accounted for.
get it.
So then he turns to Therns, whatever the fucking name is. He asks,
I want you to
Quote.
always try and get it right.
I can't get it
every
right.
time you say
I
Because-
don't even fucking care. I don't even care anymore. I've
turns,
given up.
tunes.
Yeah, I don't even give a fuck anymore. I don't
So
care. I
good.
try my best. I read most of what I learn, so it's hard for me to pronounce it. If I fucking go look up pronunciation for everything, I'd be smart.
Fuck
I'm
this
not.
guy. Call him ugly dipshit number 2.
Yeah, ugly dick shit number 2 for sure. So then
Yeah.
Clinton, as he's still calling himself, turns to his friend, Toons. He says, "Would you like a turn with this lovely lady?" Quote.
And let me
Toons
guess.
says no.
He did. Oh no.
He says
Oh.
no. I just want to fuck this bitch.
I don't like that one. I want to go back to Clinton. He's
He's the
I
nicer
like
of the
him
raper.
better. Yeah. If I
Toons
was
jumps
going to be
in.
a rapist, that's what I'd do.
Yeah, they're playing
Yeah.
good rape, bad rape. It's really weird.
Yeah. That's weird. It's a weird. I mean, I get the dynamic. It's a very traditional trope that they're playing, but it's just not one that I've experienced before from good rape, bad rape.
Yeah, but
Like,
usually the
it
mean
just-
one goes first.
That's true.
Yeah. Actually, the nice guy, we'll get to his real name in a second. He's actually the leader of the pack. You can tell, and usually it's the opposite. You're right. So
Wow.
Toons jumps in the passenger seat to try and fuck this bitch, as he says. Gets on top of her. She says that he couldn't get fully hard, but he still shoved his little dingus in there anyway. Like,
Oh,
straight
I
up.
bet you he blamed.
Man.
I bet you he blamed her, didn't he? He blamed her that he wasn't able to get hard enough.
I don't
Oh,
know exactly
probably.
what he said. I don't know exactly
Yeah.
what he said. She
It's
doesn't
her
really get.
fault. She was a lovely lady and he was looking for a bitch, and that's
Yeah,
her fault.
exactly. So
Awesome.
so he
Well
gets
done.
it in for like barely a second, she says. Then he jumps off and tells Clinton he can't do it. Then he starts to speak in Afrikaans to Clinton, and he calls him by his real name, which is Franz. His name was not Clinton. Franz de
Oh.
Troyes. I'll tell you like a little bit more about these assholes in a bit, but we'll just keep going into this.
Franz de Twat.
De Troyes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Weird
Alison
that he
said-
picked Clinton for his
Clinton, yeah,
His
yeah.
alias. No, Clitted.
I
It's
know
Clitted
yeah.
and Franz de Twat.
That must have been an
No.
autocorrect. This entire script must have been
Clunton.
Clinton the whole time, yeah. Clampton?
Clunton or
Clunton.
Clunton.
Cunton, yeah. So then Allison says that Franz
Fuck,
or
he's such a
Clinton or
cunt.
whatever the fuck he wants to call himself. Yeah, this is where she says they're playing good rapist, bad rapist. Toons' last name was it's Toons Kruger. So I'm gonna call Dutois and Kruger is a lot easier for me to fucking say than Toons, Terrans, whatever the fuck that guy's name is. So yeah, Dutois was very protective with her against the weird comments of Kruger. Like Kruger would be saying weird ass shit, and he'd just be like, "You can't talk to her like that. This is a nice lady, you know. You got to be nice to this girl," which I don't know, fucking weird.
He's trying to make
Um,
sure this guy never gets a boner. Never one boner.
Yeah.
None boners.
So
Every
there's
time
this-
he's like, come on, she's an object. He's like, no, we're going to personify her so you can't get hard. I'm not saying he's doing it for a
Aw,
nice
man.
reason. He's exerting power over him as much as he's exerting power over her.
Oh,
That's
100%.
That's it. If you're the suit, yeah. Anyway, keep going. It's psychologically that is fascinating and delightful. Horrible, but fascinating.
Fascinating for sure. I think this is the whole point of true crime. It's super fascinating. It's fucking all horrible, but it's fascinating as shit. But yeah, so they both rape her. I don't really want to get into too much detail about it. They did the whole everything and bad stuff. And when they're done, first thing out of their mouth, as they're doing up their pants, she's naked on the ground. Should we just leave her here naked, or should we just kill her? What do you think? They're kind of just talking. Alison kind of remembers this being kind of in a daze on the ground.
The question
really
for the
know.
ages.
She doesn't really know. Yeah, she's not really sure who's saying what. I don't think because they don't really specify. Oh yes, one of them asked the other one what they think the devil would want to do with her, and the other answers, I think he would want us to kill her.
He'd leave her alone.
Probably.
I agree. He'd leave her alone.
I don't know if you know much about Lucifer, but he'd leave her alone.
Yeah, these guys are
The
fake
suffering-
Satanists. These guys
and the
pretend to be
suffering,
Satanists, and
yeah.
it bothers me. I talk about it a bit. Like fuck these guys. So yeah, they think the devil would want to kill them. That's what they say. Allison's laying there on the ground. She's hearing all this, and she's thinking like, "Oh, they're just trying to scare me." That's her thought right now. Like the rape wasn't enough to scare her. The whole time she was being raped, she's like, "This is gonna be over soon. I'm gonna survive this. I'll just let this happen, and then when I can go figure this out, I heard their names, and I'll go get them arrested." She's pretty like a strong lady. This is what she's saying. She's thinking the whole time.
She's a Delulu lady.
A little for sure. Yeah. So now that the threat of death is on the table, she goes, "Oh, now maybe they're gonna kill me," which is fucking crazy to me.
The actual problem with that is that it was so like normal and prevalent that that's why she had the mentality. Like it's so normal and prevalent around those times that it's like just getting through it is just focus on getting through it.
Especially in like nowadays it's still bad, don't get me wrong, but like in the 80s,
Yeah.
90s like that,
80s,
it's fucking
fuck.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
she was white, and were her captors white or black?
They're white people, yeah. But yeah, so Franz jumps on her, Dutoit jumps on her, starts to choke her, to like kill her by choking her out, and she passes out. This is where the shitting of the pants comes in. She shits her pants, and
I thought you meant he did. I was like, what?
no,
Anyway.
she.
It would have been way better if he shed his pants for
Yeah.
sure. Way
she-
better.
The only reason I even bring it up because I'm sure it happens a lot with these murder cases. We don't talk about it, but it actually is a reason that she survives, and I'll get into it more later. Franz chokes her out. She passes out. She shits herself. Franz didn't do a really good job. She doesn't die from the strangulation, and she wakes up. So they see her wake up. They're super pissed. So now they decide they're gonna kill her the old-fashioned way with a knife. Dutois, Clinton, the original guy who gets in, jumps on top of her and starts to stab her many times. And as he's
shit.
stabbing her, he says that he wants to destroy her reproductive organs. I want to make sure this bitch can never give birth.
Okay, that's a shift. That's not polite at all.
Not at all. That's where most of the 37 stab wounds ended up, right in the lower abdomen area. And as Dutois was stabbing, and all Alison could hear was squishy wet noise. That's what she said. So all she hears like,
Wet squelching.
yeah. And she's laying in the sand, still clinging to life. Franz asked Franz asked fucking Kruger if he thought she was dead. Kruger thought for sure that she was dead until he starts looking over and he starts to see her leg move. So Kruger says, fuck this, I don't know, let's find out if she's dead. And he runs over with a knife and he slits her throat over and over. By the end of the attack, her throat was slashed 17 times. And after this, they walk away. They just, perfect, she's dead now for sure. She's lying in that sandy, garbage-ridden clearing, just waiting to die. And they jump in the car, her car, and they drive away. As they drive, they throw her clothes out of the car. Then Alison says it became silent. Well, almost silence, actually. She says all she could hear was a whistling or a wheezing. And she couldn't really figure out what the whistling was at first. Then she looks around, she sees blood all around her. And she knows, she goes, I'm dying. I know I'm dying now. So she says at that point, she leaves her body like a spirit, floats away, watches the woman in the sand get smaller and smaller. And then she realized that lady was her. And she said, I can't die. My life's way too valuable to die. And she goes back into her body and she fights for her life from this point on. First thing she does is, as she's laying dying, she decides in the sand she's going to write these two guys' names. So she writes Franz and Tunes. She rolls over to the side and she, underneath Franz and Tunes, she also writes, I love mom. And then she looks down at herself. She realizes that she's disemboweled. She sees her intestines outside of her body.
Ugh.
She accepts that she's going to die now. She says, at least these guys will get caught that I've written it in here. That's
But
true.
Is this basically teaching people that blind arrogance and self-importance is what's going to save you? Because she was floating away. She's like, oh no, I'm far too important to die.
She says that life is valuable. You don't think life is valuable? Anybody's life?
Fuck. That's what I was saying.
Backed yourself into a corner. That's what she's saying. I'm valuable. I shouldn't just die.
And then she backs it up with, I'm going to put their names and they're going to get caught.
what binds every ghost to this mortal plane?
Revenge.
Unfinished
Vengeance.
business.
Yeah.
And did her laundry get done?
Yeah.
That's the unfinished business.
Yeah. Did she leave the oven on?
Well, we know for a fact the laundry didn't get done. And if you think that I'm just going to leave that laundry not done, you are dead wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So she looks at these names written in the sand. She looks at the I love mom and she's dying there. She just starts to think, she goes, I'm going to die like this. And my mom's going to know that I died in such a horrible fucking way. I don't want to put my mom through this. This is what she says.
But if I live, she'll never find out.
That's right. No, she's not thinking that. She just doesn't want my mom to think that this is how I died suffering. That's what she doesn't want her mom to know. She's not trying to keep it a secret.
I'll make it to Balderdash next Friday. No one will be the wiser.
So her mom's the thing that she used it as a motivation. So in the distance, she looks around a little bit. In the distance, she could see a couple headlights in the road they kind of pulled off of. So she's like, if I push hard enough, I can make it to the road. Someone can come save me.
She's been disemboweled. She's had 17 slash marks to her throat, as well as being raped in ungodly ways for however many long. And she goes, I just need to get to the road. What the fuck? This woman needs to be studied.
Yeah, she's crazy. So she looks at herself like, if I push hard enough, I can make it. So she tucks whatever intestine she has into her stomach and she starts to work. She starts to crawl through the sand towards the road. And she realizes, I'm not going fast enough. Crawling and holding my guts is hard. I can't do this. I need to do better. I need to get up. I need to walk. So she could barely breathe. She was weak, but she got up. She gets up. She's determined to get to that road before those headlights pass. So she gets to her feet and she instinctively puts her hand to her neck, right into her neck wound. And as she touches her wound, she says it suddenly went dark. And that was her almost decapitated head flopping back like Nicole Brown Simpson.
Oh God.
Both screaming again.
When her head flops back like that, this is what
just outraged. I am absolutely flabbergasted. And you know what? I need Christy to listen to this episode because the next time she calls me stubborn, no, like she.
It's not even done. It's not even done. So as her head flops back, everything goes dark. This is when she realizes what the wheezing or whistling was. It's her breathing through her trachea.
Yeah.
So standing there, half dead, looking what I assume looks like a zombie would look like, she remains calm, pushes herself to keep walking. She keeps one hand over her guts as much as she can, and she uses her free hand to hold her head into proper position. And she just keeps walking till she gets to the road. Before she made it before the headlights disappeared, and she just fell right into the middle of the road. Next thing she says she thinks is, someone's gonna hit me. I don't know, but whatever. At least I made it here. This person should stop. And she sees the person. They drive up close. They stop. They kind of look what's going on. Decide this is above my pay grade. Drive around.
Oh,
Drive right past her.
my God.
Okay, but I might.
I might drive around
Bitch,
too.
I
That's a
don't
hard.
want to be the person that wouldn't, but if whatever did that to her is following her, I'm not pulling over. I might just leave. I would call somebody, but I don't think I'd stay.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think my lack of growing up with the same level of fear as other women, I think I still would probably stop and hedge my bets, but I would understand why you wouldn't, right? Like I'm hedging my bets that they might think I'm a dude.
She's calling
right?
you a pussy, trying to be very polite about it. You're a fucking pussy.
No,
You should
no,
just
You know
stop.
what? I will be. I'm a conundrum. I'm both the ice queen, huge bitch of the show, and the biggest pussy. I'll take it.
I'm not saying you're a big pussy. It's survival, right? Like
We
I
are
would
saying you're a
not
bitch,
want-
though. All right.
Yeah, I know, I know.
I would not let Christy get out of the car, but I would get out of the car.
I feel yeah.
Yeah. So like I get it. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Like your survival.
No, I think there's certain people that are thrive in that environment. I think some people just be worse off. Like I don't know if I stopped and helped that
Yeah.
person, if I'd be helping or if I'd just be making it worse. I'd be calling 911 and like putting pressure on the wound maybe, but that's about it. Beyond that, I don't know
Also,
what the
their
fuck else I'm
head
gonna
was flopping. The chances that you think that once they fell that they were actually still alive is very little, right?
Yeah, but that car wouldn't have seen that. The car is just seeing her on the ground.
And
bloodied.
bloodied as hell.
bloodied as hell. Yeah,
Yeah,
she'd
she's
be- and she's
disemboweled.
naked. She's naked,
Yeah.
disemboweled. Like there's enough you could get it from that.
No,
Like,
enough
even
for
if
someone.
I've-
Enough for someone's red flags to be like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Like
Even if I felt
Alison-
unsafe, I'd probably just lock myself in my car and call someone and like wait.
I would call someone.
That way she didn't feel alone. Like at least I'm there, and
just across
on
the,
the phone.
highway. I feel it too. Put pressure on it.
Bip, 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 bip. Give me 2 wheezes if you're okay.
She just like puts her iPad out the like next to her on the ground and then drives to the other side and FaceTimes her. You've got this.
Okay, with technology, I might be slightly more helpful, but that would be above my pay grade, and I would not stop. Sorry. I'm really sorry if that situation, extremely unlikely as it is, ever comes up where I have the opportunity to save someone bloodied and decapitated and disemboweled on the side of the road and I don't, I'm sorry right away in advance. But
I love it. We're all just like waiting, and you're like, I might.
well, you guys looked so mad, and I was like,
I'm not super mad about it. I agree. I feel it. I understand it. It's
Yeah,
just
you
too
get
bad
where you're
people,
coming
man.
from.
But yeah, I don't even know if I could even be like, I think I'm more on Celeste's side than anything. I'm not good in a pressure situation like that. I might hurt someone. I'm kind of scared. I'd be like scared to do something wrong and make it worse.
Well,
You know?
I'm a pussy in terms of like seeing that blood. I would get out of the car and pass out. Like
now
I
there's
have
two,
all
and I
these-
drive around both of you.
I like I've got the attitude and the enthusiasm, but I don't have the stomach. Like I would get out and then go, and then I'd be like as soon as I saw her guts, I would just be.
And this lady would be so pissed at you. She'd be like, I'm disemboweled and my head is barely connected to my body. And this bitch just looked at me and fucking is out. Like,
Listen,
she's
lady,
gone.
the body is
She's
willing.
dying. Next
got
to
the
me.
heebies or jeebies, all right?
Yeah. But the body is willing, but my flabbers have been gasted. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I've gone through all this shit. This bitch just looks at me and she's dying next to me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, correct.
She sees this driveway. First thing that goes to her head is she's not
Fuck
mad
you.
at all. No, she's not mad at all. She says
No,
that she's
she's lying.
Yeah.
I honestly, she says to herself, she understands why someone would drive around. She's just sad because now she's gonna die. Like, I got all this way and I got right to this car. I pushed so hard and I'm gonna die. And then soon as she falls, like a third time she accepts that she's gonna die, another set of headlights pull up, start coming her way.
All right, let's hope Dingus is in this car because she's the only one of us
Yeah,
that's at
so
all
let's just
competent.
throw
Let's go.
Okay.
She keeps thinking to herself, just stay awake, stay awake. The car stops. This car was full of people. Alison could hear in the car a woman scream. Another guy yelling, call the police, call an ambulance.
There's Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm screaming. It's me.
The man version of Dingus sits down beside Alison, calming her down, telling her she's not going to let her die on the road tonight.
That's
This
a
guy's
lie.
named Tian Ellard. He's 20-year-old. He was 20-year-old veterinary student. So
Oh,
using his
okay.
vet knowledge, he tucked
Yeah.
her thyroid back into place and covered her wounds with a shirt. He cracks off, he pops the tarp right there, uses his shirt as like something to hold it in. One of the people in the car had a cell phone, which was new technology at this time. So that was just actually lucky on Alison's part. There's a lot of things that go right for Alison to survive this. So first thing first, we're talking about the guy being a vet, like a student. That gave a lot of medical knowledge. That helped out a lot for her thing. Plus somebody in that car had a cell phone, which they were in the middle of nowhere, kind of about 15, 20 minutes out of town.
You said this was
Like,
94?
I believe so. I'd have to look. Oh,
Ooh, that was
God.
a
I thought you
brick,
said it was the
boy.
80s.
So they call an ambulance. Nearest hospital's 15 minutes away. And they
Oh.
waited and they waited and they waited for about 40
Oh, no, it's
minutes
gonna go in the
until the
car. It's gonna
paramedics
go in the
arrived.
car. Oh, okay.
40-minute, holy shit.
40-minute turnaround time. Tian got into the ambulance with Alison as they loaded her up and rode with her to the hospital. The whole time he's been joking around with her and like she's been awake the whole time. He's been keeping her awake. And
Shut
she's
up!
she's answering
Mondays, am I right?
she's answering
Oh my
questions
God.
with squeezes. Like she's like, all right, and she was like, do you what happened to you? Like, are you hurt? Like, did you stab you? Was it man, 2 men, 3 men? She used squeezes. She was answering a
Did he
bunch of
stab you?
questions.
No.
Did you watch the most recent episode of The Kardashians?
So she really wanted him to go with him to the hospital, so he did. He jumped in the ambulance. As they're driving in the ambulance, the paramedics were taking their time. They look at Alison. They're like, she's dead. She's not gonna live. Whatever. Tian fucking let's go. Make some speed up. Get to the fucking hospital, you dickheads. So Tian getting in the ambulance with Alison is another big thing that saved her life that day. By the
Wow.
time they got to the hospital, it'd been 90 minutes since Alison had been attacked, an hour and a half. So it's 2:45 now.
Jesus
What's this woman's
Christ.
blood made of? God damn.
Yeah, she just kept it
You
in.
know
That's
what?
all.
You
She
know what
kept
I'm
all her
learning?
blood in.
She kept
Is
enough of it to survive.
As everybody
Oh,
knows
I'm
that women
learning.
can do that. We can keep our blood in. We choose not to.
Once a month, we must purge. But other than that, it's always
Are
in.
you an American politician? What's happening?
You
So,
know what
yeah.
I think I'm realizing from this is that between what's his nuts who got in the ambulance, between him and her,
Sparks are flying? I know. The sexual tension is at an all-time high.
They were flirting with each other, actually. He's like, once you
No
guys survive this,
way.
I'm serious. He was saying, if you survive this, you got to take me out to coffee. You know, you at least owe me that. And she's like laughing, kind of. That's what she said. She's like, I'm dying here. This guy's kind of like making me still have like butterflies in my stomach. It's fucking weird.
But her stomach is outside of her body.
Yeah, it was
Butterflies
a literal
outside my
butterfly.
stomach.
It was a literal butterfly landing in her stomach, but still.
he got inside her on the first date. I mean, it was pushing her thyroid back in, but
Yeah. And then shoving his t-shirt in there to keep the blood in. Like,
Yeah. He's 7 years younger than she is, and they didn't really. I don't think they ever hooked up or anything like that. Maybe they fucked or something, but they're not like married or nothing like that. I have no fucking clue if they ever hooked up, but I'm gonna go with probably not. and you'll find out why in a bit. Yeah, side note on Tian, the veterinary student, he after this event, he dropped vet student and he went to become a doctor, and he's actually a doctor to this day.
That's a
That
pretty
became
good
a thing.
application.
Oh, yeah, no, he could definitely do better.
Because he's a doctor now, not just a vet med student.
No, I think she's Googling.
No, I'm
She's
not.
looking-
I'm not Googling. I'm just saying when you present the two of them and their trajectories in life, he could do better than her.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And so I'm not surprised that he
did not pursue.
yeah.
So the whole time when she gets dropped off at the hospital when they get there, Tian says, I'm not gonna leave you. I'm gonna stay by your side this whole time. And he basically did. He only left when she went into surgery. So Allison gets to the hospital. She's rushed right into the operating room. Her throat was slashed ear to ear, like I said, and her trachea was cut. She was breathing through it. She was also disemboweled. Most of her insides were out. The surgeon who was working that day, who just happened to be working, he was a throat specialist. His job was throats, but he was an operator, like he did surgeries as well. So that's fucking luck right there that it's a guy like that, right? Yeah, thoracic surgeon. Yeah, he convinced the hospital to let him operate on her right away. He said he could do this, he could fix it, and he does. He fixes the neck. He does a great job. Everyone's watching because this is a crazy thing to happen, right? So everyone's like fucking kind of cheering on this guy, and he fixes the neck.
That was his
and then,
8 Mile moment. He was
for
like,
sure. Actually, that was the pre 8 Mile moment. This is the 8 Mile moment right here. So he fixes the neck, and then one of the nurses says, "Great job, doctor. Are you ready for the real work?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And he flops open. He sees that she's disemboweled. He didn't notice her right
Just
away. He was more
lifts up the
focused on
sheet.
throat.
Ta-da!
Yeah, he was more focused on the throat. So that's fucking crazy.
I mean, I'd be more focused on putting the bitch's head back on too. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like,
And this doctor, he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I can do this. No problem. Let's go. He's full confidence.
blind.
hell
Blind,
yeah.
blind confidence in
It
yourself.
is not. No, it's not.
He's
Half
a
of those
doctor.
organs you just take out. Fuck it.
So he's
Don't
He's
you
put
tell
her-
me she still has all her organs. Because
she
I
does.
call bullshit. No, she does not. Fuck off. They saved everyone.
She's good.
Every organ.
He missed every fucking organ. He stabbed her all in the right
He
places.
really sucks at his job.
Yeah, he's terrible. So he's sitting there putting her back together piece by piece, slowly
This bitch is the luckiest bitch
re-putting.
in the world.
Oh fuck, you don't even know. So he's putting.
Okay,
like,
well,
all
aside
her
from the
intestines.
brutal rape and attempted murder,
Oh.
the luckiest bitch in the world.
Fortunate. Let's say fortunate.
Yeah.
Let's say karmically even.
Yeah, so he's putting her together, and she's fucking dirty as shit. So he's meticulously taking each like organ, and like he has a scrub brush, and he says he's like taking all the sand off bit by bit, especially like the intestines and shit like that, cleaning it all off.
You got it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
scrub
can't
brush,
just
gross.
put that back in her, you know? You
Yeah,
can't
but
do
he
it with
put it
sand
back
and
all
stuff.
the right place and like the way they should be, because it was all like a fucking noodly mess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this guy's name is Dr. Alexander Angeloff. There was an angel on duty that night. Am I right? Okay. And he's probably one of the other reasons that he survived, because he was so meticulous. She didn't really have too many inside problems after. Yes, she does. Don't get me wrong. But
Surgeons
okay,
have
so-
total god complexes. He took one look at this and he was like,
True.
"This is
This
going
is
to
my
be
moment."
huge."
This is my Sistine Chapel.
Yes,
Sistine
exactly.
Chapel.
Yep.
this is
Yeah.
where the shitting herself comes into play. So she shit her pants, but he stabbed her in the bowel. So if she would have gotten the shit in her insides instead of it
in her
out,
inside.
it would have gotten more infected and stuff like that. So the fact that she took a dump on the side of the road when she was getting choked out, it like saved her life too.
It avoided like sepsis and that sort of thing. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, so Dr. Angeloff wasn't even a surgeon in South Africa. He studies thoracic surgery. He convinced a hospital to let him operate. Like I said, this was like watched by everyone in the hospital. 3 hours later of surgery, Alison was still breathing, although through tubes in her lungs. So off to the crime scene. She's getting all fixed up. The cops are over there looking into this. They find the Sandy note. They recognize the two names right away. It's Tunes and Franz. They just needed Alison to confirm it was the Tunes and Franz that they think it is. So first thing in the morning, the detectives go to the hospital with a book of mugshots, and they talk to the surgeon. Do you think Allison's good enough to look at these mugshots of sex offenders, known sex offenders? He said if she's awake and wants to answer your question, sure, but there's tubes in her lungs, so she probably won't be able to talk. So whatever, they say whatever. So they go in to see Allison, who
Probably.
promptly gives a thumbs up. No problem. I'll fucking help. And yeah, I think the squeezing hands thing keeps happening here too. She talks to the cops through squeezing hands a little bit. So they give her the folder. She starts to turn pages one by one. And without spending too much time, she found Franz Dutoit and Tunes Kruger in the mugshots. Early in the afternoon, police come back to the hospital because they already know the would-be murders and we're already over there talking to them. Prosecuting attorney wanted her to verbalize the killer's names just to solidify the story.
You're joking.
I'm not. So the fucking doctors are pissed. She can't talk. She's got fucking tubes coming out of her, you morons. They ask, okay, well, how much really danger is she going to be in if we take the tubes out? You know, just let's take them out.
You like breathing? Here, put this bag on your head. And
Yeah.
we'll talk about how much danger she's in about 4 minutes.
The doctors say it could be nothing or it could kill her. I don't really know. She just got surgery last night. So they say it's Allison's decision, but I highly suggest against it. Cops go ask Alison. She goes, of course, take him out. So she pulls out the tubes, day 2. Her first words that came out of her mouth were, that's wonderful. And she gave up the guys' names, Tunes and Franz Dutoit. And yeah, that was enough to arrest these fucking assholes.
It would have been enough before. That one dude was just being a fucking dick.
Yeah.
Let's talk about them for a bit, and then you can tell me how South Africa really is with the rapies. So let's talk about these fucking rapists for a couple minutes here. So Franz Dutoit is 26 when he forced Alison into the car. His dad was a police officer, raised a Christian.
That's why he couldn't get hard. He'd never seen a fanny before.
Wrong guy. Franz
Yeah,
is
the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy that couldn't get hard. This is
my
the
bad.
gentleman. Franz's parents knew.
Psychopath.
Yeah. Franz knew his parents were troubled, but they didn't know he was capable of this much violence. In the 8th grade, Franz set fire to a building at a school. When he got caught, he blamed heavy metal music. It's making me want to light fires. Yeah, that's stupid. He's expelled
And
from
they
school.
didn't realize that he was violent. Like what?
Well, they realized he could burn shit, not like stab someone 37 times. Those are two different
Fair.
leagues, I think.
That's true.
Then he got expelled. His parents moved, and he's enrolled a different school. He failed the 9th grade twice, so his parents sent him to the army. In the army, he spent 3 months of his time there in the detention barracks, breaking the law in the army.
His parents sent him to the army for failing the 9th grade.
Twice.
That's a
So he
thing
would
that
have been
parents can
11th
do.
grade. Well, I guess in South Africa, you can go join the army at 16. 11th grade at 16. When he gets back
Damn.
from service, he moved back in with his parents, who got him a job working in a mine. He got married, had a daughter, quickly divorced
Oh.
because Franz said that she didn't satisfy him sexually.
That was a
Shortly
bitch and not a lovely lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shortly after the divorce, he moved to Port Elizabeth, where his parents had to get him another job. This time they got him a job as a delivery driver for some stationery shop. He's fired from that job because he was caught stealing and got a suspended sentence of 3 years after he was charged with that. And then he opens up a shebeen, which I didn't know what this was until today, or until I started researching this. It's like a fucking illegal alcohol sales place, like a speakeasy, a shebeen.
Should
South
be.
Africa.
Oh,
Shebeen, I love it. I don't even know if that's how you say it. Shebee, 2 E's N. Anyways, sell illegal alcohol there. Speakeasy of some sort. In 1993, he marries his second wife. With her as a son. By the way, his wife stands through him through this whole trial. I just want everyone to know that.
Ew.
Good.
She
Yeah.
Ew.
she cries at the sentencing, but that doesn't change that she stuck around. She cried because he's going to jail, not because he's a fucking piece of shit rapist. Anyways,
Obviously.
Boo.
scary guy from the
She's a
back seat.
cunt.
Yeah. Thunes Kruger. He was 19 years old when the attack on Alison happened.
Oh, what a
his father,
loser. 26,
Yeah.
hanging out with 19-year-olds.
for sure. His father left and his mother while
Oh,
she was
shit.
still
Chrissy was
pregnant.
26 when I was 18.
Yeah, but
He's a piece of shit.
he's not fucking Kruger. That's different.
Chris is a piece of shit. I'm cool with that. After Thunes' father left her, she got
Offended.
married to some douchebag who stayed maybe for the first year of Thunes' life. Then she married again, moved to the southeastern coast. New stepfather was abusive, took a rage out on Thunes. He's teased all through high school because he was said to have a third nipple. It's awesome. Loser.
I have a third nipple.
Do you actually?
Ew.
Yeah, they're really common.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I knew they were really common.
I've seen a lot of
tested
tits. I've never seen a third nipple.
Here, I'll show you. No, I'm just kidding. I won't. It's like right.
Wow, Celeste has 5 nipples. All in
It's like
one. It's like a star.
under my boob. So I have to like pick up my boob and it's under there just chilling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is it sensitive like a normal nipple?
No, it's like a freckle with a bump on it.
Okay. You didn't like breastfeed Jack through it? So yeah, he was teased through school, then he's bullied, and eventually says he turned to drugs and alcohol. After grade 10, he dropped out and decided to join the army, moved back to Port Elizabeth. There's reports of him having a girlfriend who's said to be a satanic witch, but I can't confirm that. Franz was also into Satanism.
Priestess.
Yeah, priestess, yeah.
They don't have witches in Satanism.
In South African Satanism, apparently they do, because these guys are losers. They aren't actually Satanists. They just want to get a rise out of people. Like, they don't actually believe in that. They just think it's fun, like cool to be that way.
He just found a girl that wasn't interesting, that was trying to be interesting.
Yeah.
He found a pick-me girl.
Yeah, a pick-me Satanist.
Right.
Anyways, this is this kid's life. He's just a fucking little Satanist weirdo who's into drugs and alcohol. The other guy's just a weirdo who has a couple kids. And he has a shebeen. They meet at the shebeen. That's where he's buying his alcohol from. This 19-year-old kid is from this 26-year-old guy. They become quick friends. They commit assaults together now. They commit like sexual assaults by themselves and together. Murdering or raping as a team is usually only reserved for the front lines of the military. So I don't know why they're doing it, but
Oh my God.
there is rare Dingus is like, I come from a military family.
What?
And not South African military. That's a different.
I'm
Yeah,
joking.
ball game.
It's happening with politics as well. So don't take it away from them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I know it's not unheard of to have like sexual predators working with each other, like Carlo Mocha or like Paul Bernardo and stuff like that, but it's super rare, and I find it weird that these guys were doing it. In these cases, there's usually a dominant leader and a submissive follower. Like Carlo and Paul, like Paul was the fucking leader and Carlo was like following. I know they're both just as bad as each other, and just one of them had an agenda, the other one was like helping with the agenda, right? So in this case, it's kind of like Franz is the leader and Toons is the follower. Like not only during the assault, but like during the trial too. Like Kruger just sat there and didn't say much. We're gonna talk about it. Like he didn't say much. Toons took the fucking stage, or sorry, Franz took the stage.
Of course
Toons sat
he
there
did.
and yeah. So as the public were hearing more and more about this case, the more and more the public was pissed about it, because 2 other
She was like-
ladies had
Oh.
been raped before Alison by these guys, and they were caught months
Shocker.
before. So the first lady reported the assault a week after it happened. So, we didn't report it fast enough. Must not have happened.
Your fault.
It's fucking stupid. Worst part of it is, when she reported it, she knew who raped her. It was Franz. Police arrested Franz, and since he had a job and never really been arrested before, they let him out on bail with what amounts to about $16 American. Police in South Africa in the 90s had the attitude of, if it was that bad, how come you were waiting a week to report? This was on March 14th, 1994, so this is like 6 months before, less than a year before the attack on Alison. This was the sole omission for Franz, so just Franz got caught at that point. On December 4th, Just weeks before the attack on Alison, Dutoit struck again, but this time with Kruger. This was a pregnant lady, and he threatened their baby, and they both raped her and told her not to tell anyone. They let her go. Same kind of deal. One was being good rapist, the other one was being bad rapist. Yeah, what is she? They say don't say anything. You know what she does?
Says
Tells the
something.
first tells the first cop she sees. She doesn't even make it to a police station. She finds a cop roaming the streets as she's like walked away from being raped and let off from these guys.
And if neither one of them had talked, then Alison wouldn't have been attempted murdered. They
Yeah.
would have just let her go. So this is their fault.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's a honest to God reason why he says he did it, because the other two squealed. They were both were arrested the same day on the spot with this pregnant lady, and were in court and were released on their own recognizance later that day without even bail. One was already waiting to go to trial for another rape case, and they just said, meh, it was in a different court, so they didn't recognize him. Different judge. So authorities had no idea that Franz and Thunes were actually in the court system for the first rape, and they were supposed to return to court on January 5th to answer for their crimes against the pregnant lady, but they would never get the chance because they would have attempted murder on Alison only 2 weeks later. Because one of those charges, yeah, so what you just said is the next sentence, like, because those girls went to the police, Franz decided we're going to kill these girls. Franz and
We
Thunes
don't leave
decided,
witnesses anymore.
yeah, we don't leave witnesses anymore. So yeah, after Alison vocalized their names, the two men were charged right away. By early
Sorry, I
afternoon,
gotta say that this is so fucking typical too.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, especially in the legal system, you now know you have two established rapes for one individual. You know that at least two victims have spoken out. What do they do at this point? They stop leaving witnesses. This is such pattern behavior. You should have
Yeah.
seen this coming.
100%.
But
Agreed.
at the same time, they were bad at taking her out. So at least there's that.
If they would have got through this kill and she would have died, they just would have got better doing it more and more.
Yep.
Yeah, Franz even said, he was like, after they did that, they already had plans to go out the next day before the cops arrested them to
That's
go
it.
rape and kill someone. They were going to throw someone off a bridge. They had a plan and everything. So like
This is
the
what
cops had to
problem
get
is,
them
is
quick.
is the just the complete and utter lack of, like, particularly like in this instance, a woman. And can you imagine how many more, like, you got to extrapolate it for the minorities, can you imagine how many more women that were black or marginalized would be suffering even more when they're so complacent over lives, particularly women's lives? And it makes me angry down to my core. Like, well, why'd you wait a week? I don't fucking know. I was trying to figure my shit out after I
Yes.
just was horribly raped. You absolute
Trauma.
cock
Just
jockey.
like trauma. That's the reason I waited.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, now
Thank
it's
you
like,
for
okay,
letting
well,
me-
now I have to decide if I say something and nothing comes of it, which is fairly likely when you look at the statistics, have I now doomed their next victim to die?
For sure.
Yeah, and you're carrying that guilt on top of it now. You go down and you see, like, she heard about it in the town or whatever it is. She knows, or maybe she wouldn't, when she learns that, there could be that one as well as countless more because you opened your mouth and tried to get seen for what you have every right to do. Like, it's such a mind fuck and it's so unfair. Oh, thank you.
You want to see how it gets worse in South Africa? We're about to talk about it. So they go to arrest these guys that on the 19th.
Sorry, I just want to interrupt
Yeah.
one more time. You know how earlier when I said I know what it is?
Yeah.
This isn't even the one that I was thinking about. It was another extremely horrific, unlikely to survive South Africa gang rape story.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad there's
Oh,
lots of
there's
those out
two.
there.
No one. Why did we go through those couple of years? And I think it may even still be going to an extent. But we went through years of a whole fucking country capturing hundreds of girls in Africa and, like, just doing whatever they wanted with them, and no one's fucking talking about it. It's insane. It's insane and it's gross, and I hate everything about it. Thank you. You have traumatized me, Richard. You win.
Cha-ching. All right. I'm sorry it has to go on the back of Alison Botha, but I mean, Got to put it somewhere.
No,
Okay.
I'm impressed with her, and now she's going to help me get through a lot of arguments with my wife because I am not stubborn.
I'm not stubborn.
So she was in the early morning of December 18th, raped and attempted murdered. By the afternoon of December 19th, they were arresting Thunes and Franz. They said, "You're under arrest for rape." And they went, "What? I'm gonna go to court for that in a week." And they said, "And attempted
it at
murder." They
5?
went, "What do you mean attempted murder?" They're like,
Allison's... You're
Allison's...
under arrest for rape. Yeah, we know. You arrested me already for it. Why are you
Yeah,
here?
exactly.
Yeah.
So they went,
We
"It's
know.
attempted murder."
Yeah.
What do you mean attempted murder? We didn't attempt to murder anyone. They're like, Alison Botha survived. Like they told the girl, he's like, "Oh shit, did she?" And they basically just admitted to doing it instantaneously after that. They're like, "No fucking way she survived." In fact, Dunes, when the police are there arresting him, he takes off a ring off his finger and he tells the police, "Oh, you can give this back to Alison. It's hers." So he stole her ring. He said, "Yeah, you can give it back to her."
He was wearing it
As he's being
as a
arrested.
trophy.
Yeah. And the whole time that they're getting arrested, they're like, "Whatever, that sucked anyway." I hated her car. Her car sucked. It was a shitty car. It wasn't even that good. Said they attacked Alison because they said they just got an urge. They were at a barbecue. They were asking the cops, like, "Why would you do it?" They're like, I don't know. We're at a barbecue. We're eating some supper." They went, "You know what? Let's go rape." And they dropped everything, barbecue on everything. They just left to go find someone to fucking rape on a whim. And they went and they found someone.
There is
Like going to
some
pick up something at the
issues.
fucking store. Fucking crazy.
There are some neurons that have never met in that gentleman's head. Like that is. Could you imagine you sitting there? I'm barbecue Australian. You're sitting there eating your nan's, potato salad, having a hot dog, like having a sausage and a piece of white bread that's been buttered and tomato sauce. Aussies, you know what I'm talking about. Like you're just having a good time, and then you're just like. It's almost like, when you go, "Oh, fuck, I go to the toilet." You put everything down and go. It's just like, I fucking want to go rape.
That's how I imagine it. Like, he has a wife and kids. He's probably like, "Honey, I'll be right back. Just got to go rape someone. Could you save me a steak? I'll be right back." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'll be right back. I want a snag in a minute. And when we bring out the pavlova, I'll be back before then.
yeah. So they also tell the police, like I said earlier, that they were going to go rape and kill another girl tomorrow. This time, throw them off a bridge. They had a better plan for killing her. So after this case starts spread around the news, it becomes a huge case. Especially after the media finds out that the two men have been arrested and were out on bail for 2 other sexual assaults. Fucking huge. They're being dubbed the Ripper Rapists. Yeah, people were started flooding Alison with gifts. All sorts, like she said, her place was filled and stuff. Like her hospital room was filled. So much so that she couldn't thank everyone, so she bought out a giant ad in the newspaper, a full page in the newspaper, just to thank everyone. So she worked at an insurance brokerage, like I said, and her boss was like scared of all the media attention. So he's like, "What if these guys have friends and they want to come finish the job?" So he just sat there outside of her room like a bodyguard. You know what I mean? Just waiting for some other fucking psychos to come.
Wow.
Friends were all worried about her. Obviously, they made her. Alison still had a fucking joking attitude. When she's laying in the hospital bed, they're all like super feeling sad for her. She's like, "No, don't worry about it. It's not that bad. I didn't even break a nail." And she picks up her fucking mangled ass hands, but none of her nails were broken. So she's just laughing, like scraped up fucking blood everywhere.
Don't worry about it. I got all these gifts. I bet one of them has a scarf. It's fine.
Yeah, his scarf comes up too.
I love laughing through trauma. It's my favorite thing in the universe. She is a champion, and to be fair, I thought she was just doing it through blind stubbornness in existence and just keeping alive. But I think she's just a champ. Like this one's a good one.
Yeah, she's the best. She's Bush of the week for sure. Bush of the fucking millennia. Really.
Bush of the millennia.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Yep.
Or she has done some really bad shit in her life, and now for the first time karmically she feels like she's made up for it.
She was a child trafficker in South China. That's what she was gone for the past 4 years.
South Africa. There is like cartel shit, there's gang shit, there's
that's
like
why
there's shit, you name it.
Yeah, she murdered like 6 nuns. That's why she had to
I'm
leave
just
for
saying,
4 years.
if you go through this horror and somehow at the end of it you seem almost relieved to have gone through it, I'm suspicious of you.
Yeah, so I reckon Celeste is right. Best case scenario, this person is the GOAT, Bush of the century, Bush of the millennia. Worst case scenario, she's now karmically even. Like,
Yeah, she's tipped the scales up to at least even. I got you.
Mm.
So Bronze and Tunes, they're still talking to the cops. They say they're just gonna plead guilty to everything, whatever we got caught. Cops don't believe them. They do a lot of investigation anyway, just in case. So the trial is set to start on June 12th, 1995. About a week before trial, Franz holds a press conference claiming that the devil made me do it. And it's because he's a Satanist. And he just wants people to understand that there's dangers in Satanism. So this is why if you get into Satanism, you could be like me. Like, fuck that guy.
I
you
tried to
imagine?
warn you with the heavy metal music and nobody listened.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you imagine Lucifer's down in hell, right? And those guys are like, the devil made me do it. And Lucifer's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, fuck you.
The fuck I did.
The fuck I did, man. That was all on you, you crazy
Yeah.
cunt.
During trial, all three women that were assaulted testified, telling the judge each of their stories, including Alison. Alison's faced her abuser. She said it was a hard thing for her to do. She told her story start to end.
Yeah, because it's hard to
And-
keep her head. Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
the zipper was stuck that day. Tell the story, and she's cracking jokes through this too.
Bo
Bo.
just goes fuck off.
During her testimony, she says, he cut my neck, and that used to be my most pronounced feature. Like she's joking around
Oh.
in court.
I love this woman.
There's something
he's-
wrong with her. I'm unsettled by her.
I get it.
I don't
I think
find
she's just a
it
badass.
sensational at all. I find it unsettling.
No, I do, Celeste. I was driving, just to give context. Like I was driving to work the other day, and someone pulled out in front of me and almost ran me off the road. Like it was very close to a very serious crash. And I was on the phone to my assistant Jess. I was on the phone to her, and I was like a beep. There was horns beeping, whatever, and I was like, "Whoa, fuck!" And then I got back onto it. I was like, "Holy shit, Jess! I almost died." And she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Could you imagine? You're on the phone, and then like you just hear like a smash, and then I'm like." And you're like, hello? And you just hear my radio play. And I was laughing at it. And Jess is like, there is something wrong with you.
There's a famous
Do you remember?
there's a famous
when
death video.
Do you
like
remember
that.
when we were
Oh,
doing
no.
Ethan Couch and we were talking about how that woman was on the phone with her daughter when that happened to her?
Yeah.
Suddenly less
Yeah.
funny, isn't it, Bo? I'm just kidding.
Tell Mrs. Couch how funny that is, Bo.
I was talking about a car crash. So
That's how
was a
she
car crash.
died. She
Yeah, it was a
died in a
car
car
crash, same thing.
crash.
oh yeah, true. But all right. Well, I get this woman's sense of humor because I think that's hilarious. It's my best feature.
I'm
Well-
unsettled by her, like I am by Terminator.
Franz also testifies.
Wait, what?
So the first thing in his testimony, what he says is that he's sorry that he has a bad haircut. They don't give good haircuts in prison.
You had a bad haircut before prison.
Yeah.
But
And then he
with
goes.
every fiber of my being.
Then he goes into his Satanism excuse, tells everyone he's a Satanist and a demon made him commit rapes. Then he said during a ritual in 1985, conducted by a witch he met in Adelaide, a demon had taken possession of
Adelaide?
him. I don't know if
No,
there's one
so
in
there is
South
one in South
yeah.
Africa.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Ooh.
He said a demon had taken possession of him, an incubus to be more specific. I don't know if you guys know what an incubus is, just a male
An
demon.
incubus is the male version of a succubus.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he said that the
Well,
incubus
except incubus is just outright rape. Succubus is seduce.
at night, yeah, while they're sleeping.
I stand by my statement. The male version of a succubus.
Oh, he pulled this straight from the Arnie Johnson case.
Oh, I don't.
Succubuses.
This guy's not
seduce
smart enough
you,
to pull
bring
it
you
from
in
anywhere.
For consent. They seduce
No.
you, bring you in for consent because women care about that sort of shit, and men just take what they want.
Like,
I was
yes,
just thinking that happened in 1981, so that would have happened before this.
the internet. Like this guy's not
Well-
doing law study on the fucking 1994.
Yeah.
He's just a moron who just using
That's
Satanism
fair.
as an excuse. Like, yes, I see what you're saying, but it's a halfway across the
Yeah.
world in like
Yeah, I didn't know like how far that stretched at the time though. I know it was a pretty big
could be.
like
There was so much satanic panic
crazy
in
thing.
during that time, right? It wasn't just like
He
satanic
has a
panic was a
lawyer
thing.
though. It's not just him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure. It could have been his lawyer, for sure.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's saying it's succubus got him. Okay, tell him to have violent
Incubus.
sex, and most of the time he did what the incubus. Sorry, most of the time he did what the demon wanted, and this is his testimony. You know,
I do what
uh,
the incubus wanted too. Otherwise, they were gonna rape me.
yeah, I don't want to be raped.
Yeah, I don't want to be raped. I've heard that
Uh,
sucks. Firsthand, I've heard.
yeah, the couple days before he even did this, he demanded a fucking exorcism while he was in jail, like 2 days before the actual testimony.
They don't work. I've had two. They don't work.
The state allowed it, and the exorcism was done by a pastor named Arthur Frost. 7 people attended this exorcism. All of it was videotaped. I wish I had the tape, but I don't. It was fucking my biggest search of this entire fucking thing was try and find this exorcism tape. 5 people apparently had to hold down the possessed serial rapist Dutoit as he spoke in tongues. Fortunately, Pastor Frost succeeded in his exorcism, or at least that's what he says. After the exorcism, most people, if you are actually, this is what another fucking priest was saying. If you're an exercise person, once you figure out all the stuff you did, you feel bad for it, and you like as if this happened. I was a demon. Oh my god, I can't live with myself. This guy didn't even give a
I know
shit.
that's true. That's true
Yeah.
because exorcism did make me
Yeah.
feel very guilty about being gay. So yes, it does make you feel bad about the things that they are pointing out, but it's
Anyways,
not in the way that they're presenting it.
it's all horseshit. It's just funny that he went that far and he got the fucking priest to say that he was actually possessed and he fixed him. So now he's in court being like, see, I got an exorcism.
I'm
This,
all better now.
yeah, pastor got it out of me. You took his testimony. I'm good. Why would I rape? I'm not a fucking succubus. I'm just a guy. Or an incubus or whatever. I'm just a man. The whole time that
That's why you'd rape, because you're just a man. It's not helping your argument at all.
human.
I'm sorry. Hashtag not all men. Oh wait, no, that's bad too, isn't it?
Look,
I don't know. I don't know.
As-
Whatever. I don't care.
not what is it? It's not all men are all. No, never mind. I can't remember. Don't worry. As you were, I'm just outraged.
The whole time, the police, as they're bringing Detroit and Kruger in and out of court, they didn't handcuff them. They didn't handcuff them the whole time because he kept telling them, "I want you to run, man. I want to kill you." Like, so these
Oh, I
guys,
want to
Nice.
kill you. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the
All right.
cops are like, "Run! I want you to run. Please
I
run.
like
You're not
that.
getting handcuffed the whole time." And they never ran, so they never got shot by the police. But the cops fucking hated these guys.
Pansies.
Well, I'm sure the whole time they're like, I will shoot you all the way in the back.
Give me a
The
reason.
cuffs-
Yeah,
the
just
cuffs
give
are
me a
off.
reason.
I didn't know how to put this together in like a not chronological. It's just it jumps around a little bit from here on in. So not bad. It's just I couldn't figure out how to do it properly. So if it sounds like it's kind of jumping back and forth, my bad. Franz's dad, the
The
police
cop?
officer,
Hmm.
yeah, he committed suicide 2 weeks after the trial. I guess he
shit.
couldn't imagine that his son would do that. He didn't think he knew he was a bad guy, but he knew he was going to
Well,
stab and
considering-
rape a bunch of people.
Considering the cops hated him, knowing that he was like a fellow cop's child, yeah, I don't think he was popular on the force.
Yeah,
Also,
I'm guessing
fucking grow a pair, right? You created this mod. Well, you
can't
up
say that
to-
though.
You're 50 to 100%. No, you're 50% likely that you had something to do with this problem, and now you're just giving yourself the escape. Like, go and help. You were part of this.
Agreed. Help out. But who the fuck knows? I
Fucking
don't
take
think
it easy
anybody
now.
like sometimes I don't know, maybe. I don't know. That's a different debate for a different day, whether or not it's nurture nature, but like some people are just fucking crazy, man. Like hey, you can't stop like a Dahmer or
So
something.
do something earlier.
But nobody
you know
like
you're a
I
bad
think
guy,
they
you're
tried.
just
They didn't
making
know what to do. They
excuses.
sent them to the army. They did a bunch of shit. I don't think they like knew what to do. What do you do when your kid's burning down buildings? Like
Why are you
Is there
fighting
any
him?
like testimony on how they were as parents? Like, were they loving,
No.
devoted parents? Well,
no, I don't
I'm
really got
being
lots on
but
that.
I don't stand by this doctrine that everybody just automatically off the bat loves their kids. Me personally, yeah, if Jack did
That's true.
something really
My
fucking
mum hates
horrible,
me.
I'd be there defending him for the rest of my life, being like, it's not that bad. That's my son. I know, no, just he's cool, I swear, knowing full well what he did, even if it was something horrible, because I do unconditionally love my son.
Whereas my
They may
mother
not
has
have.
tried to take me to court and does not like me at all and would happily just throw me under the bus.
But
So,
why aren't
yeah,
you more
you're
like
right.
her then? Why don't she
Hmm.
make you like all fucked up? She made you kind of good.
I'm out.
Well, then Kruger had a completely different upbringing, right? He had his dad left, and
Parents
then
and-
mom was bringing stepdads in over and over again. One of them was abusive, and they still ended up like
In the same spot.
basically
Yeah.
in the same spot. Yeah. So like one, at least, I mean, we don't know if his parents loved him unconditionally, but loved him enough to try to help him, like enough
Yeah.
to
Did they
try
though?
to fix
Or
the
did they-
situation.
Why don't you
Oh,
They just tried to
go
get
to
rid
the
of it.
army where we don't have to deal with you anymore?
Sweep you under the carpet for sure. I can see
A
both sides.
little bit of both.
Well, most people who do that think they're helping. They don't go.
Yeah.
People are, like sometimes they're like, "Let's just get him out of the house." I don't like him. Cool, but I think most parents that are sending their 16-year-old kid into the army is like to like make them a man, stop being such a pussy or whatever. Stop wearing your
Yeah.
eyeliner, listen to shitty music. They think they're helping. That doesn't mean they're helping. It's just people think they're helping. It's like me and the crowd or that Alison Botha situation. Be like, I'm putting pressure on things. Meanwhile, I'm just ripping her head all the way off. Like I thought I was helping. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
fucking Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Anyways.
There is, okay, at bare minimum, without getting into nature versus nurture, if you cared in any way, shape, or form, actively hated, if you were anything other than indifferent, you are likely to have had up to a 50% impact on.
Sure.
somewhere
I'm
between
willing
zero-
to. I'm cool with that. Whatever percentage. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is South Africa, and this is South African fact. That means whatever Bo says, fact. Okay.
Oh, she spit her coke out. Oh no.
All right.
Awesome,
So,
well done.
Alison didn't like the media attention from the trial. She said the trial wasn't hard. She was kind of fun. It was kind of like watching like a TV show. But then every once in a while they'd say her name. She'd be like, "Oh wait, this is me. This is my
I get
part."
this girl. She's autistic for sure.
Yeah, the media attention is what bugged her because they were like judging her way too much. Every little move she would do, like there's one point during the trial where she writes a note to her mom asking her what she wanted for lunch and like showing her mom. The media saw her writing a note to her mom, and they're like, "What could she have been writing on that piece of paper?"
She's so weird. She's so weird. I'm so unsettled by her. She's like, oh, I'm in court and I can make jokes and I'm thinking about lunch. She's so weird. She's so
I
weird.
get this. I get her on a spiritual level. I love it.
Judge Jensen, believe it or not.
That's a South African name, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's Dutch, and the Dutch like had lots of colonies. Like the South Africans can speak a lot of Dutch as well. So it's Janssen.
I know, but I was trying to put
Yeah,
parallels to
it's
you.
Judge Jansen. Get it right.
Janssen.
Judge Janssen found
Yes.
Franz Atois and Turns Kruger guilty on all the charges, which were 3 counts of rape, abduction,
Is the ghost.
indecent assault, attempted murder for the Alison case, and robbery for the ring. A whole shit ton of
Yes.
charges. 2 guys basically got
Here's that ring back. That's another charge.
2 guys basically got life sentences. Detroit got 3 life sentences, and Kruger got 25 years and a life sentence.
Okay.
Judge Janssen also ordered that copies of their sentence be placed inside each of the men's prison record. He wanted to give them the death penalty, but it was already abolished in South Africa by this time. And he was anti-death penalty in politics, but he would have given it for those fucking guys.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah. Pour one out for Judge Janssen.
So Judge Janssen said that he gave him the harshest sentence he could, and to put that note in the file was to show how harsh the sentence was to keep them in jail so they could never get paroled or anything. People officially would look at that and go like, these guys need to be kept in jail.
Mhm.
Very nice.
At the end of the trial, Franz was keeping it cool, trying to be Mr. Cool Guy the whole time. At the end, when he got the verdict read, he just had a little bit of an outburst, said "fuck you all" to everybody in the courtroom, and as he left.
You
I thought he
wish.
got that
Go
demon out of him.
Yeah.
What do we-
Exactly. This the demon's back for 5 seconds to say "fuck you," but I'm So the after effects of this whole
Wow.
thing, Alison has years worth of recovery. So one of the weird, gross things, they said a lot of stuff, but one of the grossest things they told me was that they had to scrape her stomach every day until it bled just to make sure it was healing properly. So every day she'd have to go into the doctor and they, oh God. So many gross things.
Ugh.
Her neck scars shocked everyone at first. She could tell, she said when she walked in a room, that's the first place people would look. And then people would start asking her, like, why don't you wear scarves? And
Because
she
that's your
tried.
problem.
Because it's my
That's
best feature.
exactly
Yeah.
she said she wore the scarf, she tried, but she said she felt encumbered. Like, why should I have to fucking cover this? Fuck you guys.
Correct.
You know?
Yep. It's your problem. You're the one who has a problem with it. Fuck off.
And she didn't want to be tied down by some clothing. Allison had to endure a lot of emotional damage to go along with the physical damage. First of all, she moved out of her house. She couldn't go back there, of course. She moved in with her mom, who took care of her, which is like a lot for everyone involved in that.
Yeah.
Every time the police officers wanted her to take, they wanted to take a bunch of like progression pictures of her like wounds for a court. So she had to go into the police station and just like strip down in front of a bunch of cops all the time, which she found very degrading. And it was embarrassed. It was hard for her to show it off like that every day or every once a month or whatever the fucking frequency that was. As she's like going through her depression and stuff like that, I think it jumps around a bit. As she's like sitting around thinking about this, she finds out that average prison sentence for a rapist in South Africa was 9 years, and most of them would serve less than 5. And when she had to go identify the suspects in what they would typically do in South Africa at the time, was the rape victims would go into the police station and they would line them up like a normal lineup, but the victim would have to go behind the person and touch the right person that they was the assaulter. So you'd have to like
What?
squeeze their shoulder and be like, this is the person, just so there was no mistake in who they're picking, right? And they were trying to get Alison to do this, and the one cop was like, fuck that, we're not doing that. Do you see the shit that she had to go through for this? And it was like, Alison's
Yes.
case was the first time in South Africa they used a two-way glass system that you see in movies and shit like that. But like not till 1994 or 5 they had fucking two-way glass. Before that, like these victims had to go like touch their assaulters. Ugh, what a fucking bunch of
Wow.
place. Alison starts to suffer from depression. Like I said, she starts to not care about anything. She wouldn't go to work. She wouldn't call in for work. She wouldn't shower. She wouldn't eat. She wouldn't care about what she was eating. She would eat a shit ton of like junk, ate like shit.
Well, now I feel
Uh,
bad because she's normal now.
She got out of the depression by starting to be a motivational speaker. She got invited to do a speech at some place and she was really scared to do it, but she said, you know what, I should probably go share my story with people. And she loved it, and it made her feel better. And this is what she does now. She tells her story about her life, picking up instead of letting herself die. And she's been doing it for about 30 years. She's won numerous awards for bravery. She won Citizen of the Year in South Africa. Uh, she didn't really understand why. She's like, look at these amazing people. All I did was fucking not die.
At last, finally, somebody who's actually humble about it. Because she's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is right. What did you really do?
She's like, I didn't do anything, but everyone keeps telling her it's not what you did. It's the hope that you brought people, and people feel comfortable telling their story now because of you. I don't know, like, sure, but she doesn't look at it that way. That's what other people look at it. She just thinks she's like pretty actually like lucky now because that's what came out of her whole thing. She's got to meet world leaders. She met Nelson Mandela, so she still talks to
And
this
that's
day.
wild too. Like, how do you just go through that and then go back to work, go back to your normal job?
She really
Like,
didn't.
But she didn't.
She just,
She didn't
yeah.
call
Right,
in. She
yeah.
ate a bunch of crap and
right.
Yeah.
But I think that's what I would do. I'm not going back to work. You know what I mean?
But
Like that's
she also goes like city to city, like spreading word about like how you shouldn't feel ashamed. It wasn't you that did the bad thing by getting raped. You should be out there telling your stories and getting these people what they deserve, and figuring
Held
that instead of
accountable.
hiding it and making it a silent like thing that you have to suffer for yourself. You didn't do anything bad. And I find that really good that she does that. She
yeah, that's
knows she
awesome.
has a fortunate life. She did do one thing that she never thought she was going to do, aside from all that stuff. She has kids. She had kids.
No way.
Shut up, I suppose.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't know why I'm shocked.
Well,
when I was
they
just
didn't
talking
actually
about
hit her
it.
organs, right? When they stabbed her,
They
they didn't
didn't get her.
actually.
I'm sure they got like stuff that could have made more damage, but she's just got pushed through it, and Actually, she met a guy February 15th, 1997. So through 4 years after that. I think they're divorced now, from
Day
what I
after
understand.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think they're divorced now. I'm not sure, but they have kids, two boys. She brought them to full term, gave birth like through the veg and everything. What's crazy? Like she thought she was not gonna ever be able to do it. Um,
Wow.
she
I'm sure
Detroit's
it wasn't
explicit
without its
reasoning.
struggles.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's she had to go every day to get checked up, and there was a lot to it, but she made her way through it.
And wait, she had a
And guess what?
vaginal birth as well.
Tian, the vet student who was Allison's guardian angel that day, was the doctor that delivered her second kid.
Oh, shut up! That is so
Oh,
cute.
cool.
Cute.
That's
that-
awesome.
It's a fun world sometimes.
That's
That's
awesome.
that's almost
really
better than them
wholesome.
getting married or something, you know?
Yeah.
I love that.
So,
Wow.
couple more
I love
things
that.
before we get out of here. The attackers came up for parole in 2004. There was actually a landmark case that went to the Supreme Court in South Africa that said life in prison without parole was unjust, and now they have to offer people with life in prison some type of parole. So, despite the judge never wanting them to get out of prison, their hands were tied. Alison got wind of this through her local newspaper. No one told her, and it brought her right back into a depression. Franz actually has a girlfriend now. His wife finally left him. The new girlfriend is from America. They met on Facebook. His
In
new
prison?
girlfriend's yeah.
This is like, oh, for fuck's sake.
They get
Why?
Facebook in prison?
Why does it
Yeah,
have to be so
exactly. Exactly.
fucking stupid
Exactly.
American?
How does he get
Jesus.
Facebook in prison?
Country.
But it's South Africa. They're fucking crazy. So new girlfriend and his new girlfriend's mother contacted Alison to try and help her get him out. Yeah, they said, can you write an apology, or not an apology, like a forgiveness letter to him? Sign it for us, please.
This is why the world hates us.
Fucking
This is why the world
audacity.
hates us.
Apparently, Franz threatened her through his girlfriend's over Facebook messages. Franz left messages saying that he had people on the outside that can arrange for a woman in South Africa to be raped and sodomized. Franz accused Alison of killing her dad, and he just couldn't wait to get out. He got his girlfriend Sabrina for $10K. He said, if you get me $10K in this prison, we can buy off some prison guards and get me paroled here.
This
We can
wouldn't
buy a-
count as double jeopardy, though. If they got him on charges,
It's a new
for this.
it's a new assault, but it's not America. I don't know what South African laws are like, but what I do know is that this is a brand new charge of like threatening and fucking, you know what I mean?
threatening, and then what's the other one? To conspiracy.
Intimidate?
Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, he's kind of fucking himself over, which makes me happy.
So Sabrina doesn't have the 10K to get him parole. So
What?
she kind of goes to Alison, like, can you get him the 10K? Because he's threatening he's gonna come fuck you up. Here's the screenshots. So Alison takes the screenshots to the police. And she
course.
brings them to the media as well. Speak out against these two assholes getting parole ever. She gets a petition that gets over 16,000 votes. So fuck those guys. They didn't get their parole in 2015 when they came up for parole.
Thank God.
I like how
This
Kruger
is-
is probably sitting in the other jail going, the fuck did I do?
Yeah, this story's not done yet, Bo.
Oh my God.
They're still eligible for parole every 2 years after a reevaluation. Allison was scared that if they were paroled, they were going to try and find her to get revenge. So were the other two victims.
He wrote it down.
Yeah, he said it.
He said
During-
it. He's going to do it.
During this kind of, I'm going to skip a little part here. I'll come back. So Allison wrote a book called I Have Life in 2016. This is after they got out of, or they got their parole hearing and didn't get it. She wrote a book. It was about her experience. I could show you a little clip of her talking about it if you want, so you can kind of see how she talks and stuff.
And welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
All right, so let's start with the book actually, because we're talking about reading books, and it's 90,000 copies sold.
Just for everyone's reference before we go, yes, I knew this is good. This is why I picked the clip. There's like a fucking like gospel band singing behind her while she's doing an interview on the fucking TV. I love South Africa.
but that means more than 90,000 people have read it. Tell us about your journey writing it.
See, look at Alison. You can't even see the scar on her neck anymore.
You can't.
How could I?
That's
how
the
could I
exciting thing, to
possibly
think
look
so
at
many
Alison with
people
that
have
guy
read it,
behind
have heard my story and shared it. Writing it was hard. I wrote it with a girl called Marianne Tam, who was my ghostwriter, because I think it was such a difficult story to write on my own. She made me remember, she made me go places that were maybe hard for me to do on my own. But it was definitely a cathartic experience. I think telling a story that has a message. I like books that have a story or have a message behind them, not just a story that I'm going to forget afterwards. So this was very much that. It's a true life story, and we wanted to share also some of the lessons that I learned in it. So I found those lessons myself in writing it. Yeah.
Now, one of the things that we've learned today is that particularly with inmates at the Department of Correctional Services, telling their own story is a powerful process, and I don't know, healing maybe? Is that what you found?
I think so. I think it's for me, it's a double thing. It's sharing. I find out myself in talking about it. I find out what I'm finding out is the lessons, but also knowing that my lessons might help someone else.
You've got two little boys. I want to know, have you read to them? Do they enjoy reading books?
Not my book, but they do. I mean, there's something that from start they got bedtime stories. In fact, we had a lovely thing where we would just tell stories. They would have to give me three random words, and I would have to make up a story with those three things in them. Reading books that, one of the things was always, it's my turn to go and choose the books tonight. It's something that we're reading family. Even my mom won an award at the library here in George for taking out the most books in a year or something.
Anyways, it's I don't know.
Well, not
Just a
my
little
book.
comment.
I'd fucking hope not.
I know,
Yeah.
that's hilarious. That's why I was like, I gotta get the gospel singers, and she's trying to make a joke. That's just Alison right there, a little clip of her talking about
I
her
think,
book.
yeah. No, I
Um,
think that seeing her is like not even a bit. We can't see it. Like the fact that at some point in her life, she had to physically grab the top of her own head and put her head back on her neck was completely invisible in that clip. Like
Yeah.
it's insane to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angel
Yeah,
on
no,
duty for sure.
They did a very
Yeah.
good job. So they took the book, they made a documentary afterwards called Alison 2016, where she describes everything in great detail. The documentary, I'm not gonna say it's good. I don't think it's that good. I just think it's crazy that she told the story. But like, it's really weirdly done. It's like flipping through pages of a storybook as she's telling the fucking rape and fucking
Once
like,
upon a time, there was a
Exactly.
young lady doing her laundry, but then a dragon
Off the
came.
clock.
A dragon named Detwat.
Tunes the twat.
Twat.
Anyways, yeah, it's kind of weird, but it's not bad. It made me want to fucking research this, so I'll give it that. They say in that documentary that they're trying to get Franz to participate in the documentary to speak a little bit about it, and he wanted to under some conditions. His conditions were
Let me out.
nope. Well, yes, I guess part of it's that because he wants a signed letter from Alison forgiving him. And this is 2016, okay? I'm just going to keep this up. His second condition is he wants half of her profits from her public speaking engagements backdated.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
And in perpetuity,
No.
of course.
And in
Fuck that
perpetuity.
guy.
Yeah.
No.
He says that what he did to Alison is the only reason she is successful.
Wait.
If it wasn't for him, she'd be nothing. They refused, and he's not in the documentary. Just let's go there.
You need to start negotiations a little bit lower than that. You need to give him some room.
I'm getting sweaty.
You flew too
This is
close
my-
to the sun there, buddy.
Yeah, you Icarus yourself. All right. Also, yeah, she may not have been as successful, but it wasn't her choice to make. You fucking cunt. Like maybe she wanted to do. Maybe this is Katniss Evergreen, right? This is the fucking Mockingbird story where everyone was like at the end of Mockingbird, at the end of the Hunger Games. She just wants to go back and live her normal life. She wants to just move back to the farm and just go and live her normal life. And everyone's like, nah, she didn't fucking want to go be a hero. Alison might not have wanted to go be a fucking hero, but you didn't give her a fucking choice.
Agreed. Agreed. So
Sorry.
I just for everyone else who doesn't get to watch this like I did, Bo almost jumped out of her seat. Like, she's very upset
I
about
did.
this whole thing. Just so everybody knows,
I'm-
she's all over the
I'm
room during that whole time.
Outraged.
Okay, so last thing before I'm done this story. In
hate this
June,
guy.
this is hot off the presses. In June 2023, it's not really hot off the presses, it's about a year and a half old now, year and a bit. Both
It's
Kruger
lukewarm
and
off the presses.
lukewarm off the presses. In June 2023, both Kruger and Detroit were both granted parole after 28 years in prison.
Okay, Dingus threw something. Both fell on the floor. I'm here. I'm the voice of reason. Let's hear them out.
I guess having their sentencing in their file didn't work out. The Department of Correctional Services said that the parole was considered in line with the Correctional Services Act. Here's a quote. The Department of Correctional Services sent Alison an email on June 23rd saying from July 4th, Mr. Dutoit will be on a 3-month day parole, after which he will be released under normal parole conditions and will form part of a social interaction system in whatever city. Bloemfontein. This was a terrible shock to her.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I hate it. I hate it. Anyway, keep going. Sorry, I'm back.
Who knows what kind of psycho shit these guys are up to now, because they're out. She kept calm. So she had but they're out now. So that's good. Yeah, these guys are out.
Yeah, that was the
years in
happy
prison.
ending we all wanted, for sure.
Yeah, they're in their 50s. Some of them are in their like Kruger's still in his 40s. And probably living in some halfway house, just waiting to rape somebody else. They were
Swiping
threatening her
right
6
on
years ago.
Tinder, I'm sure.
This
Yeah.
is outrageous. This fucking monster said, I want half the profits backdated and potentially in perpetuity. I can't remember whether that was added in for
Perpetuity was added for fun, but who knows?
Okay,
He
cool.
probably
Right,
wanted
no,
that.
Fuck it. No, fuck it. We're adding perpetuity, right?
It was
So
there.
what's it-
He wanted it in perpetuity.
backdated and within perpetuity. This is like, what? There was something in his file from someone who dealt with the case. There are so many. What the fuck is wrong with these people that they're like, yeah, I reckon it's all right. We can bring him out. Like, this is ridiculous. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Have money exchanged hands, or are people just this complacent?
Sweden is going to be so happy to have another country in the sandbox to play with, because we fucking hate South Africa now, too. Fuck
They-
you, Sweden! Fuck you, South
Fuck
Africa!
you, South Africa.
Oh God. I'm
Oh my
mission
God.
accomplished for me. Like, I wanted to break someone and I fucking broke Bo like 100%. She is ranting.
100%.
She is fuming right now, guys. She is
I
fucking
am
super mad.
so angry. I'm so angry.
I know. What a fucking story though, eh? Like, what a story, start to end. What a fucking crazy lady. And I don't know. It was a pleasure writing about this. I had so much fun, and I know it was a lot of disgusting shit, and I should have had fun, but it was just so interesting. All the shit that happened, I couldn't believe it. I was at the edge of my seat the whole time.
If we make
Well,
any
she's
profit
great.
from
She's
this
wonderful.
episode, you have to give half of that to Franz in perpetuity, because if he had never raped and tried to kill her, you would have never made this episode.
I'm gonna give him half
Yeah.
my fun in perpetuity, half my fun, because I wouldn't have had fun reading about this if it wasn't for you.
No, give him half your dick. Fucking. Anyway, sorry. Get
Whoa,
a
whoa,
bit of
whoa,
brain medicine.
What am I gonna do with the other half inch?
Like,
It's
I would've
sickening
given
that they
up.
got paroled. Sickening.
Sickening. So, like,
If you're in South
like-
Africa and you know where these guys are, I didn't tell you to do it. But just
Sassy Dingus strikes again.
take care of that.
You go take care of that for
Take
me.
care of that problem that you have, South Africa, because that is
I
a
would
fucking
not-
problem.
Yeah. I would not be angry if I got a message letting me know that it was taken care of. Like, I'm not angry, and I'm not.
Don't
telling anyone
message
to
me
do it.
about it. I want plausible deniability. Don't tell me about it. I'm just throwing it out there.
But
South
if,
Africa, take care
If
of
a
that
viewer links some sort of like newspaper article to the Facebook page,
Anything
could-
that's
yeah.
not on the dark web, link it up.
I now know because of her what not exactly what, but like what people can like go through if they have enough fucking urge to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you can survive a lot of things in life. And I
And
find that
I
very-
learned what a shebeen is. We've all learned something today. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Unethical Podcast. If you're not in the Facebook group, stop being such a silly goose and come find us at Unethicult, the official Unethical podcast group. If you find you just can't handle the anticipation until the next episode, then it's a great time to join our Patreon, where we have a ton of extra unethical content, and of course, our brother podcast, Private Dicks. And in case you didn't hear the good news, Private Dicks is now Public Dicks. Every 2 weeks, an episode of Season 1 will drop wherever you eat your podcasts, and our lucky Patreon patrons are literally living in the future, listening to new episodes from Season 2. On the fence about it? Have a listen to the trailer and see what you think. If you've got a case, big or small, give the Private Dicks a call. And yes, the phone number is real. Enjoy!
Have you got a mystery that needs solving?
Where is Amelia Earhart?
We know.
Who the hell was D.B. Cooper?
Ah, easy.
Bermuda Triangle?
Probably solve that one next.
Here at Private Dicks, we guarantee a mystery solved every episode.
That's with a capital G.
Every second Friday, the Private Dicks take a client, record their session, and solve the world's greatest mysteries.
One by one.
Private Dicks solve them, no problem. God, I love just crushing mysteries. Search up Private Dicks on your favorite podcatcher and you can solve a mystery too.
The mystery of what's your favorite podcast?
It's Private Dicks. Another one solved.
If you have a mystery to be solved, call 1-855-PRVT-DIX. That's 1-855-PRIVATE-DICKS.
Call 1-855-PRIVATE-DICKS and leave us the rundown of the case. Maybe the Dicks will solve it.
855 Private Dicks.
Skibbity whiz.